All right, part two. So we've got this switched out. I removed this piece that was here because this is a direct shot down in. This is the water that's going to go to the tank, or should I say the bowl while it's filling. And then the water is going to be coming out of the base of that to fill the tank here. Sorry, bowl is the part I'm sitting on and the part you would be sitting on. And the tank is the back here where the water is. So we have our old one out. These actually have marks so you can preset the one before to the one after what it was at. You can see the numbers here. But I'm just going to start to add water and adjust it as we go, because I still don't have that lock washer installed. So you do most of your adjustment with pushing this down or up and then engaging the lock washer. And then you can actually do some fine tuning adjustments with this here. You can use a screwdriver if your fingers aren't strong enough, that's not a problem. But you can just turn this and it'll make that float move up or down so you can control your level of water. This is not always necessary, but it came with it, so I just left it. This is a way to crimp down on the hose if you're getting too much water to your bowl, which if it gets too much water, especially with city water, it's going to waste, because whatever the bowl is over the limit will just drain into the waste, into the septic. So you don't want to necessarily have that waste. So we'll look at this in a little bit. But for now, I have the water hooked back up. Everything's pretty good. I usually do hand tight. You shouldn't need Teflon for these fittings because they have a rubber cone grommet in here. And then the rubber grommet is that red brown piece down at the bottom of that. You can see anywhere that you've had rubber contacting the bowl, you want to clean thoroughly, not the rubber piece, unless you're going to reuse it, which I would highly not recommend. But the bowl, I had to clean that out pretty good in that area so that we'd get a good seal, no leaks. So that's what we're hoping for. It's not 100%. And by the way, no, I'm not a professional. I have to admit that, absolutely. If you really want to not have any issues, call a plumber. But what I will say is you're probably going to be calling a plumber anyways. So if you can, fix it. And if not, you're no worse off, right? So that's my opinion. I'm going to stick with it. Totally up to you. The biggest thing is if you have a gate valve like this and it's pretty old, and I mean, how often are you turning these on and off so they get kind of brittle? That's going to be your biggest point of failure, I would say, overall. That's going to be very hard to fix because you're going to turn off the whole house water at that point. But you should know that pretty early on when you go to turn it off, and you'll know. So let's get this going. I'm going to start adding water. Just gently and slowly open your valve for your water source. Nice and easy. All right. Sounding good, looking good. Got no leaks that I can see yet. Always double check all your places that you've had fittings. You want to check the gate valve. We didn't mess with it, but it doesn't mean it won't leak. This fitting right here, this fitting, and the bottom of the tank where the nut is. Make sure we don't have any leaks once it's full. So we'll revisit that in a little bit. See, we got a nice stream of water going to the bowl. Good amount of water coming in here. It's going to be kind of nasty at first, so just going to flush that nastiness away real quick. At least a lot of it. Cleaned up that plunger. This didn't end up coming in my kit, which I thought I had, but it didn't, so It's really okay. I'm not gonna bother changing it out. It's very structural yet. It's just got a little bit of corrosion on it. Thankfully it's brass, so it does pretty well. So if we look in our bowl, ooh, yummy. See how we're already at the desired level and over actually? So that's where this comes into play. We're gonna push it down and roll it forward. We don't need that much. And you can see there's numbers, I don't know how clearly, but there's numbers on it. And we don't need nearly as much. And it's gonna click in every time. So, still a healthy stream coming out. I'm gonna go a little bit more. So right now we're about at a 2 to a 3. Sorry, it's not zooming very well. There you go. Now that might not be enough, pretty a trickle, but we'll experiment as we go. You can already see we still got more than enough here, so. That's probably more like it. Any drips? No drips. Praise be. That's what we want. Coming on up, coming on up. Still got lots of play, and you'll see this is just basically a cup. It's closed on both sides, but it's just got a cup, kind of a thing where if you put a cup of, you know, an empty cup upside down, the air is going to lift the cup up, right? That's basically the same thing. Air is trapped in that cup. Water comes up, it pushes the whole thing up, which lifts that valve. And we end up with lifting that cup. Hang on one second, I'm going to lock in that washer now. All right, sorry about that. So we're almost to our water line, but we're pretty submerged here. So I'm gonna righty-tighty this so it moves this cup up. All right, that's about maxed out. So see what happens. Flush test 1. We're trying to match that fill line. Check that fill in the tank. Probably could go a little bit more. I'm gonna go one more click on that right there, opening it. It's looking pretty good. Maybe just one more. I think that's gonna be perfect. We're gonna find out. Sorry, I'm still learning how to incorporate a camera. Let's watch this close. Not too shabby. We're not far off. So we do have a little bit more room to move this, so I'm going to move it up one click because technically we do have the top of the tank, which is going to be a little bit concave, and it will fit a little bit more space. It doesn't have to be exactly level, if you can see about where we're at. So hang on one second. All right, lifted this washer up, pulled this whole gray piece up, and then lock that washer back down. One click. Now we're just basically level with the top. We're just beyond, but that's okay. Like I said, the lid here has some space up inside, so we'll be just fine. Honestly, this is the part that takes the longest, and you know, if I was doing this every day, this would not even be a factor because I learned how to adjust this according to the old one, match them up, everything else. You can use those numbers like I said, but it's been a minute. Oh, that is a thing of beauty. So you can see the old water line as it comes to where it's stained, and you can see where it's supposed to be, and we're doggone close. So we are going to call that good. I think this is fixed. If you have any questions, any comments, I want to say what you're thankful for, back on our gratitude. If there's anything you want to know, anything you want to learn, or anything you would add, because like I said, I'm not a professional in the least, but man, let's try to help each other and grow in the Lord and start to become a little more financially free. Have a good one.